So, without further ado, please sit back and enjoy this truly spectacular world premiere. It is finally time.
Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Livewire Game Show. This is the Summer Game Fest Jeff Keighley is great edition. And as you can see above Stephen's head, he's very, very happy about what was shown at the end. But we'll get to that in 2 short hours. Anyway, before we start talking about Summer Game Fest, let's do our weekly catch up, see what we've been up to, and then we'll get into the juicy stuff ish. How is everybody?
Good. Let's start with you, Kev. How are you? You go
good.
first. You never go first.
I never go first. I'm fine. I had football tonight, so I'm still kind of sweating because I only had my shower like 5 minutes ago before coming on here. So I literally got in the car after football, ordered food, and drove home. Threw on fucking the Summer Game Fest to make sure I was close enough to being on time. But apart from that, yeah, I'm good. Been up to my usual stuff all week, playing Destiny, doing my raids. I mentioned last week we were going to try to do the duo Vault of Glass, and we did it a lot quicker than expected. Got it done on, I think it was Saturday. We got that done. We also managed to get a flawless raid done on Monday, I think. Sunday or Monday. We got a flawless raid done with the group. But yeah, apart from that, played a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, which Horizon Zero Dawn was a good looking game when it came out on PS4, but my god, it's stunning on PC. It really, not to be PCMR or anything, but it's a beautiful game. I tried out Necromunda Hired Gun, which released I think last Thursday or Friday. Wasn't a big fan of it personally. For anyone who's not aware, it's a kind of Doom-esque kind of game set in the Warhammer 40k universe. It's okay. It's cost 30 quid, so I'm not too upset that it's not got the polish of a €70 title. But it's fine. It's not for me. I wouldn't really recommend it to someone who's not into Warhammer. If you're a Warhammer fan, then you probably get a lot more enjoyment. My friends that I know that are into Warhammer have been going crazy for the game. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy what I did with it. And I also played a little bit of Final Fantasy VII PS5. The Yuffie chapter is quite good. It's just nice being back in Midgar. It's just nice being in that world. And my god, it is so beautiful at 60 FPS. Like, it's just... 60 FPS needs to be the benchmark for all games. Miss me with that 30 FPS bullshit. It's 2021. No, it's just... The difference is insane. But yeah,
your cinematic fucking experience can fuck off.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but if this is getting off topic for a second, but if you genuinely think you would not rather have a game at 60 FPS to 30 FPS, you're wrong. You're straight up wrong. Like, you don't lose anything in resolution or graphic fidelity really to make up for the smoother experience. A smoother experience, just forget about your cinematic experience. You still get it. It just looks smoother and nicer. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, my week's been alright. Yeah, it's been alright.
Yeah. What about you, Dill? How's your week been?
Yeah, pretty similar to every other fucking week in the last 52 weeks. Played Destiny, played WoW, played Apex. Done it all again. It's been a pretty...
Were you out hiking and shit and exercising last week?
Yeah.
I hear... Jesus, what's that like? What's the outdoors like?
Hiking, going swimming, embracing fucking my testicles going into my stomach when you go swimming because it's really cold.
I wouldn't know.
I'm glad you
I haven't been outside
clarified.
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified.
That was just another recreational activity I got up to.
We ain't gonna kink shame here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just same old. Just bored.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Bored.
Yeah. Same. What about you, Stephen?
Yeah, haven't really gotten up to much in the last week. the wife is away for the weekend, so I actually got to play games all day, catch up with some TV shows.
You had
got
a
to
couple
watch
of late nights, didn't you, as well?
I did. I was up to like 4 a.m. 2 nights playing Scavengers.
Take full advantage of it, don't you?
Oh yeah, it was great
Oh
fun.
yeah, we played that
And
this
then,
week. I forgot about that.
yeah, it feels like a year ago, but it was only
It
last
does.
week.
Yeah.
And then watched season 8 of American Horror Story that I haven't seen yet. A Quiet Place as well, which was fantastic. And the new Mortal Kombat film. So cheesy, it's so good.
But isn't it good?
Like, it's as good as I expected it to be.
Yeah,
but
you have low expectations, and that's what makes it.
Yeah.
Like the special effects, I thought were really good.
It is actually really good because the part with Jax and Sub-Zero at the start, like that was really well done. Like there's no parts that I looked at and went, Jesus, these are janky ass, graphics. They were fairly decent. The fight scenes were very good as well. The only thing I kind of wish they probably would have done more of was the Mortal Kombat. The what would you say, the fucking,
Like the staging.
not even the staging. What you call it? The actual like fucking
Finishes?
tournament. Jesus, that's the word. Tournament.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Some of the finishers in it were cool. Although that was really cheesy as well. Like where was it? Kung Lao is like flawless victory. Like seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Don't say
It's
shit
kind of
like
like
that.
one of those they have to get it in there for the sake of it. But
Yeah.
even
But-
when they start getting teleported, I don't want to say like too much, but
Oh yeah.
that whole
Yeah.
kind of choreographed fight, because there was multiple ones, that was really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing, and even the way they seem to have changed one of the characters, we'll say affinities. I won't say too much, but it's one of the characters at the start. They kind of nearly switched the two roles around, and that was interesting. And how that played out later on was cool. But yeah, like that. So I got to watch a few of those things, play some games. Didn't get to play Final Fantasy VII Intermission or.
Did you manage to install it though? Because I heard that's the real end game of it, is actually installing it.
Yeah, I've seen like Reddit posts and all. It's like, here's how to do it step by step. It's like, seriously, just fucking go find it. It's not that hard.
It was. I think what a lot of people actually were trying to do was install Intermission or Intergrade to the PS4 version of the game, which is why it wasn't allowing people to do it. Yeah. That's what I think was happening, but it was literally like 2 presses of the X button and mine was ready to download and it was fine. But anyway, yeah, I've been enjoying playing it, so I'm looking forward to what you think of it. I'm a master at the mini game. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Oh, Fort Condor.
Fort Condor. I'm amazing at it. I'm amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm gonna do it my my top 5 tricks you should know before starting Fort Condor tutorial.
Oh, we're gonna be one of those channels now, already.
Yeah, we are. It's very actually when you figure out how the mini game works, it's very obvious. It's basically Pokemon battles. That it's literally what it is with 3 weak or super effective things or not very effective. That's basically what it is. But yeah, it's.
We're saying is this how we get Dill back into Final Fantasy VII?
No, it's really not. Before we move on to talking about the main topic, Stephen, have you got Discord open on 2 screens?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going blurry every so often for me.
Oh no, I don't. I have it on a laptop.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that then, stop moving so much. Because when you sit still, it goes really clear. But when you start, because when you're talking, you move side to side a little bit, and that's when it goes a bit blurry sometimes. So
Okay.
we're gonna we'll have to tie you to your chair next week.
That's fine.
Right, shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay, I think we should probably leave the main reveal till the end, and just kind of maybe work our way through it bit by bit. So yes, Jeff Keighley had his Summer Game Fest kickoff show tonight. When he wasn't doing ads for Amazon, I think I counted 5 or 6 of them for Amazon Prime. But look, they gave him a lot of money, I'm sure, so it was in the contract. He revealed 43 games in total, or 43 things in total. And whether you're into a lot of it or not, that's a hell of a lot of stuff to get through in whatever it was, 100-minute show.
45 minutes.
About an hour 45 minutes, yeah. One thing before we start getting into the nitty gritty of it, I thought the show was paced very well. Like, I thought it flowed very quickly. You didn't linger on things for too long. Like, it was like I was trying to take notes on my phone of what I was watching and then throw a couple of mouthfuls in. And it's like, fuck, I'm missing stuff. So, yeah, Louise was handing me a notepad trying to help. I'm like, no, I need it from my phone because I'll send it across. But, yeah, I thought it was paced very well. It was quick. It was almost quick fire, a lot of it. But, yeah, like, I know a lot of it, like, you may not... Generally, with these shows, you might only be into 3 or 4 things, but there was a lot there. There really was a hell of a lot there. Anyway, so it started off with Gearbox and 2K's announcement. I think this was either leaked a couple of days ago, or they had been building the hype for it, and that was Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Apparently, it's not a Borderlands spin-off, but it is, but it isn't, game. But it is. Yeah. It's its own standalone thing. Yeah, same universe, but it's more of a fantasy looter than the sci-fi kind of Borderlands stuff. And Andy Samberg's in it. I saw that name pop up, so I had a laugh at that. But it looked, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the VAs, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, looking at it when they first announced it, I thought it was like Dragon Age in Borderlands. I was like, that looks really cool. And then they announced Gearbox. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's a fantasy looter, isn't it? They look cool, though.
I missed that announcement, so I'm out of the loop on this.
We might as well just start the whole thing again and come back when you finish the Stephen. That's not good enough.
I've heard good things. I just missed it.
Yeah, I'm not really into Borderlands myself or Gearbox's style of gameplay, but it is very, very popular. So I think
you can customize a character. That's all people care about.
You can't do that in Borderlands, can't you? You can only really change your skin.
Pick your hero.
Yeah, you can change skins, but you can't actually customize.
Yeah, they didn't really say much on it. Like, obviously, what we saw was just a rendered trailer, but no game.
But they did say they did give a release window though, which was I think it was early 2022. Yeah. So.
Oh, did I say early 22?
Yeah, early 2022.
Oh, I thought it was
okay.
22.
So if you go by the calendar year, that means sometime between January and June. If you go by the fiscal calendar year, that means sometime between March and September. So take your pick.
Probably gonna be something like June anyway.
Yeah.
December 31st.
December 31st. Yeah, no, they look cool. It's Gearbox. It is what it is. Did they make good games, even if you're not into them?
It was a good opening.
It was. Yeah, that's the phrase. It was a good opening.
It is a huge IP. It is like
it's massive.
Into it or not, it's massive.
Yeah, I think it was a good way to start the show. Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's a good way to start the show with a huge.
And they had the VA on. They had the VA on for the lead character as well. She was very passionate about it, and she was very, she was clearly very passionate about it. I don't know her name. Next up,
very good.
Next up, he showed off it was a tactical of a 90s franchise, which was Metal Slug. It's Metal Slug Tactics. I think this was the most anime trailer of the show. That's what I have written down here. It was very, very anime trailer, opening cinematic for an anime show. Made me laugh. But yeah. I never played Metal Slug. Did you play it, Stephen? No.
No, I had it on... I think someone gave it to me, but I just never booted it up.
Just you know what? I have a feeling I rented it before, thinking it was linked to Metal Gear. Yeah, when I was about this height, maybe smaller, and shouldn't have been playing Metal Gear anyway. But yeah, it is. It's a tactical. It's not really what I think any of us are really into.
No,
did you ever play
anime? I just zoned out for that 30 seconds. I was like, nah, sorry.
Next up, we had Hideo Kojima, the super secret, not so secret special guest. He didn't really reveal his new game.
Nope.
What do you want about? That's a brand new game.
His new game. He didn't reveal his new game. He spoke about a lot about his creative process, about where he wants to. So how he looks at games. So he spoke about up to 9/11. How after that he changed his philosophy on making games because he made games about what could potentially become reality, and his whole thing was talking about how Death Stranding and COVID kind of actually linked into each other in a way that he's like, this reality came a little bit too quickly for my liking. But he's speaking about how he's looking at it going forward, about what he may predict may come down the line for the human race, and put a human side to it. So I personally found it quite interesting watching him speak.
So what I'm hearing you say is we need to shoot Kojima because the next game he puts out could be the next fucking pandemic.
Predicting
or something. Yeah. So if he's not beating a dead horse, he's predicting pandemics.
That's one thing he said he's not doing, isn't it? It's a completely new direction. He's not revisiting anything old, which is fine, but
it's what he does in his games.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Kojima is, so I think a lot of people forget sometimes that Summer Game Fest, which is brand new from last year, or E3, is a platform to announce games on, but Kojima is so gargantuan a developer, he doesn't need that platform, that he could do it whenever he wants to fucking do it, and millions upon millions upon millions will come watch it. So I think that's why he generally will do it on his own, will probably do it on his own stage, on his own terms.
You could say that about everyone there. Like, Gearbox are big enough to do it by themselves.
Yeah, they are, but
this is a platform for them to be unified with all the other developers, and
100%. But that is how it happens in that is what generally happens with this, though. It's generally how it goes. Like, you look at Call of Duty gets announced when they feel like announcing it. Assassin's Creed gets announced when they feel like announcing it. So Kojima's just in the same boat of, well, I may not announce it here. You never know. It might be in such early stages of development that he just doesn't want to talk about it yet.
Maybe it's going to be announced in the director's cut of Death Stranding, which is exclusive to the PS5.
Well, that is the one thing that was announced, was the director's cut of Death Stranding.
In the most fucking strange way you could ever announce.
That was a Metal Gear Solid reference.
Is it a DLC? Is it a continuation? Is it a new quest? Is it multiplayer?
No, I think it's the PS5 version of the game, so 60 FPS, all the nice stuff, and then probably a couple of extra side missions here and there. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of extra stuff included in it. But the way it was announced was a Metal Gear Solid reference. It's the old cardboard box of Metal Gear Solid.
Well, maybe with Amazon funding it, we're going to get the Amazon DLC finally that we've all been waiting for in Death Stranding. Just saying.
Same day delivery.
Same day delivery.
Yeah, sorry, like even the setting for it was very not Death Stranding. Like, not one moment were we in that environment where we were that close to the bad guys. I can't remember what they were called. Like, in a warehouse kind of aesthetic, It was just interesting. It felt very weird.
It'd be interesting to see because obviously I haven't finished Death Stranding, so I wasn't actually sure if you had been there in the game or not. So interesting to see if it does include that much extra story content, and if so, does it eventually come to PC as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after Hideo made his appearance, we got another celebrity guest, which was Jeff Goldblum, and Jeff Goldblum's he's just great. He's so peculiar. He's just great.
He's a delight.
He is a delight. He's just built different. But he got his world premiere out, so he clearly pays attention and knows what goes on in the industry. But he was there to announce Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is coming this year. Actually, I was surprised with it was only announced, but it is coming this year. I haven't played the first one. Not my kind of game. That kind of build your place. I'm not into all that sort of stuff. But
I'm just surprised it got a second one because I didn't think the first one did well at all. But
you played that, didn't you, Dill, at some point?
I loved like I was saying to Stephen earlier on, I loved the PS2 version or the PS1 version. I can't remember what it was years ago at the time when those games were like against Roller Coaster Tycoon, those kind of hospital bills. Like that was a massive genre back then. But I remember it was on full price for ages, and I was like, I just want to play it. So I went and I bought it at full price, and I regretted it 2 days later because it was. Yeah. It's just it came from a different time. That's how it felt, and it's not a Jurassic pun. It's just fucking. It doesn't age well at all.
One thing I'll say about it though, I always get goosebumps hearing the music. I love hearing the music.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's I was only saying. It would have been nice to not even an open world, but just a story generated game based in Jurassic. Like if it's something like Jurassic Park 3 where you have to go into the park or it's an island or whatever, you know.
I was thinking about that, like when they were actually showing it off, I was kind of like, oh, is this actually an action game or a first person whatever in the Jurassic World universe? And then it obviously triggered with me that it's evolution. But I think what would work really well, like in Jurassic Park, you're not going to go in and just start shooting about all the dinosaurs.
No, but
it doesn't really fit in with the canon for it. Yeah. But I think what would be quite interesting is a survival horror game in the Jurassic World universe.
Like even the scale.
No, Steven's like no.
But yeah,
don't put that juju on us.
Like the scale wouldn't even need to be massive. Like it's you're in that park environment. You have to do
being hunted by velociraptors.
Yeah, I think it would have a
it'd be Alien Isolation in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, more kind of easily accessible for a wider audience as well, because Alien's very horror.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be that's what I was kind of hoping it was when it first started showing it, and then it's copying. It's like, oh, they're building the park. No, pass for me. After that came a game called Sable. This is actually part, I think might be Xbox Game Pass, maybe? Might have missed that. But it's part of, you can play the demo as part of Xbox's demo thing next week. That was announced later on. But it kind of reminded me of a Journey, kind of Last Guardian-esque kind of game. But yeah, it looked pretty. What more can I say?
Yeah.
I think from here on, for me, the show kind of nosedives, but it's not to do with the show itself. It's just the type of games and what to get.
Production was well together.
Yeah, it was. I think from here on out for quite a while, it wasn't really. There was quite a lot of. Here's this for this already released game, or here's this for this release game, or here's some skins, or here's some of this. So I can scan through some of that stuff. So there was
actually. The next one that you're gonna say,
I wasn't gonna skip past
this one.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Far ahead. Yeah.
I'm just looking at your list. So this is the
Lost Ark.
Yes. So Dale, you're right. This is the Western release of the game. So this was originally locked to Eastern release only.
I don't know if that's the case though, because it's an Amazon. But it's an Amazon game, so I don't even know if it's out yet. I think it might only be getting. I could be completely wrong. But I think this has only been released in the West for now. Again, I could be wrong saying that.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it's already out. Someone might be able to clarify.
They said coming to the West for the first time.
Yeah. So maybe it's already out in the East.
That's how I understood it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
but it's essentially...
Star, all that kind of buzz, the way they're only...
Yeah. It essentially looks like Korean Diablo.
You're right.
So
it's, you're right. It came out in December in Korea. It has been fully released in the Korean region since December 4th, 2018. It's an MMO action RPG game.
Yeah. So it's just Diablo, but MMO. So that I think that could be really cool. Those kind of looter dungeon crawler games are really fun, and just you can switch your mind off and just kill mindless hordes of things and get cool loot.
It was a God of War PS2 MMO for me. Yeah. The gameplay kind of reminded me of the old God of War gameplay, that over the head kind of gameplay. One thing I'll say about that one though is the music was so out of place. It was like a kind of electronic rap song, and
yeah,
it just was
yeah.
it was a bit jarring. I was like, this music doesn't really fit this game, but whatever you're into.
Yeah. What do you think, Dale? Because that's kind of your genre as well, isn't it, Diablo?
I saw the Japanese looking game and I switched off for another 30 seconds. It doesn't appeal to me. You could bring out my favorite game of all time, and once it has that kind of aesthetic, it's not for me. I just lose interest.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like.
Nice.
So the next up, they spoke about Call of Duty, the new season starting June 17th. I personally skipped this to make up some time to get here on time. They announced COD Twitch Rivals. I didn't see it. I just kind of saw glimpses as it was fast forwarding through. I don't know if you just want to cover anything on that. No, none of us are really Call of Duty fans, so.
Odd, yeah. So.
Okay, so after that, we got our next celebrity guest, which was Ryan Reynolds. And he didn't announce Detective Pikachu 2, so I was personally very upset. But he did announce... not announce, we've already seen the trailer for it. Free Guy. It's a movie about an NPC who breaks free from being an NPC. It looks interesting. It looks alright. It's out in August. And hopefully,
summer movie.
Yeah. Hopefully the cinemas are still open by the time it releases. One thing I will say about that, though, the music was awesome. I loved that song. It's
I can't remember what it was.
It's by The Who.
I say I remember it now.
Yeah.
Let me get the name of the song so I don't get it wrong. It's Babbitt O'Reilly, I think, by The Who.
I will say though, it's funny that he mentioned Elden Ring in his
his intro.
I missed that.
Goes,
I actually missed that.
Yeah,
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that he's not the main character of Elden Ring or something.
Or am I?
Yeah.
Or am I? Ryan Reynolds is a national treasure and should be protected at all costs.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
He's great. After that, I moved on to Among Us. There's a new hide and seek mode, which is the first thing they've introduced to that game that hadn't been modded in already. But one thing I did notice from it was that they actually are embracing the mods that we've all downloaded and used, or the Town of Us stuff. A lot of that is being implemented into the actual game, so you no longer have to go to a dodgy site and download a dodgy mod to play that. So that's really good that they're doing that. That needed to happen, because otherwise the base game would have just got lost in amongst all the mods that were out, because the mods make that so much better. After that, there was a bunch of indies. Shunhei Yoshida was on, and he's just the happiest man in the world, by the way. I love Shunhei Yoshida. There was a 2D Souls-like game. Did that interest you, Stephen?
Oh. I haven't played Salt and Sanctuary, but I was saying to Dill before you came in that the art style of Salt and Sacrifice looks really cool.
It does.
And I think I have Salt and Sanctuary somewhere in my Steam library. Maybe got it as a Humble Bundle thing before. So I might look into it. And the fact that it's co-op.
It looked cool, yeah.
Was it?
Oh, it's co-op.
It was co-op, yeah.
I missed that.
Thinking to do online co-op, which would be cool. Because those type of games can be really brutal, like unrewardingly brutal. And maybe
it's going back to the old 90s 2D side-scroller, punishing, want to smash your Sega Mega Drive over your knee kind of game.
Yeah. So
the other one that was shown
no
off.
interest.
No, to be honest, now I wouldn't be that interested in that myself. In a 2D, I'm not really into my 2D stuff. The one I think that really got me recently was obviously Ori, because it's spectacular. But other than that, I kind of avoid them nowadays. The other one that was shown up was Solar Ash. We saw this trailer. I think it was during. It wasn't the Horizon one. What was the other one? PlayStation event. Ratchet and Clank. The Ratchet and Clank stream.
Yeah,
showed it off during that, and that looks like, I don't know if I'll get it, but it looks beautiful. In fairness,
looks good. Won't play it.
Yeah, it's very the environments are fantastic. The atmosphere.
Some of these universes that they create do look like they are incredible, but it just doesn't have that like
Don't
grip
worry.
your attention.
It'll be a PS Plus free game at some point, so you can get it then. Moved on. There's a lot of there's 3 in a row where it was out now. Here's what this is. So Chivalry 2's launch trailer was shown. That's out now for console plus PC. That is not into playing that game, but some of the clips you see on highlight reel are absolutely hilarious for that game. People go around baiting each other.
Is that the one, the come at me you bastard or something?
I think so. Game? Yeah. It's funny. It's massive, like 64 v 64, sword and shield. Some of the stuff you see is quite funny, and that there was then something for Valorant. There was another Prime Gaming advert because of course it was, and they teased the new agent. None of us play Valorant, so we think the less we say, the better. After that, they showed off the new area for Escape from Tarkov, which was Streets of Tarkov. It really reminded me of the map from Call of Duty 4. I can't think of the name of the map. It might have just been apartments.
Might have just been apartments, yeah.
But it reminded me of that. But yeah, Tarkov.
Modern Warfare 2, was it?
No, I think it was the first one. But Tarkov is the game that like I look at it and I wish I'd got into it. It's like it's like it's got such a steep learning curve that the time commitment to get good at it is it's long, drawn out. But Tarkov as a game really interests me.
Yeah, no. That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
Just never looked into it. That's all.
I've played it. I played it when it first came out, before it got massively hyped. But yeah, I wish I'd stuck at it. Yeah. After that, we got a Sims-like game. It's called 2 Point Campus. I think it's a sequel to a hospital simulator thingamajiggery. No interest, so probably just move on.
Oh.
Jeff spoke about the Netflix Geek Week is on tomorrow, and that will include. We'll probably speak about that more next week, but it's revealing what Netflix are doing with some of their gaming programs, so Cuphead, League of Legends, anime, Witcher. So hopefully we get something cool at that.
We get the first look at the Resident Evil live action as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot they were actually developing that. I think that could be quite good if it's done well.
It's got a very B-list cast. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be good. I like Resident Evil. I like the Resident Evil movies for what they are. I just accept it. I'm not expecting big.
It's funny. You know what's funny about the Resident Evil movies is that they're all different genres, but they're all really bad in each of those different genres.
Like the first few were great. It's just it turned into the here's my wife in fucking slow motion for half the movie.
Yeah.
What's the one with? Is it Extinction where they've got Whisker and they're in the room in the lab and they do the bad slow motion. He's all like, "I'm dodging your bullets," whoosh, whoosh, and they just like blur it very slowly, and it's like, oh my god, it's so bad.
It's very cringy.
It's
the guy who directs it makes a lot of cringy movies. In fairness,
Monster Hunter. If you've seen Monster Hunter,
he directs them, and that actor is in them all, and they're all terrible.
They're married, aren't they?
They're married.
Yeah.
It's his wife.
Like that's mental.
Everything she's in, he's directed it. Basically.
Yeah.
She has the acting skills of a fucking dead ant.
Find your niche.
Like I'll watch anything once. Like I've watched some terrible films and coming out being like, you know what? I enjoyed it for what it was. I wasn't expecting much, but it was good. Like the Resident Evil movies. But my god, Monster Hunter was one of the worst things I have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Really?
Just watch the intro, Stephen. Like
just watch the trailer.
Such negative reviews. And I was kind of like, yeah, okay, this is probably like people who are so into it that are like, this grass is supposed to be yellow and not green. You know, that kind of nitpicking shit. And I was like, right, this is what I'm expecting. The fucking intro, man. It's disgusting.
It's ridiculous.
It's just 10 minutes. Just go online, watch 10 minutes. And I think what's his name is in it, Ron Perlman, for the first couple of minutes. And even the wardrobe looks so fucking like this is what my next door neighbor made for me for fucking this Comic-Con event. Like it's fucking horrible.
I'll one up that, Stephen. Watch the girlfriend review of Monster Hunter the movie. That's how you're gonna find out about that movie.
And fucking what was it? Diablos. Oh my god. Every shot for the first like half an hour of the film was just up close on its face, and it was like 80s kind of stop motion, kind of like the camera is in one position and we're moving it from side to side type thing. It's fucking it was disgusting.
Yeah,
like, and it led into a sequel at the end of it, and I hope it does not get fucking made because I will want to watch it and I will have to watch it, but I do not want to watch it. Yeah, horrible.
Wow. So we're gonna get 7 films of Monster Hunter now, aren't we?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Even the man, everything about
it. Yeah.
Yeah, crossover. Fast and Furious to be in the next one. Disgusting.
We're not at that yet. You're a little bit early for that announcement. For that.
Speaking of good cinema, I saw Quiet Place Part 2 this week, and it was fucking incredible.
Oh,
yeah, I've heard.
You should have that in your thing earlier on.
Sorry, I completely forgot. Stephen, I have the most monotonous fucking weekdays. It's not even funny. I forget what I've done. Okay, I went to the cinema this week. I had cinema popcorn. It was fucking glorious.
I'm literally just going to go see anything just to get cinema popcorn.
Yeah, it's really good.
I heard it's good. I heard it's not obviously as good as the original, as the
it is
first one.
100%.
Oh, really?
That's what I saw, but it's still fantastic.
Brilliant.
100%. It's more. It's Stephen. You'll understand from watching it this week. It's more. There's more noise in
it. Yeah, I can imagine there would be. Yeah,
you can eat your popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've done it really well. I didn't know that John Krasinski wrote and directed it as well. I know he directed it. I didn't know he wrote the story as well. But yeah, fantastic. Like, really can't wait for the next one. It's really good. Anyway, sorry.
Spoilers.
Not really, because he dies in the first one and they still continued it.
True.
Right. After that.
No, before we move on.
Okay, sorry. Actually, Stephen, I know what you're going to say, and I think you're wrong.
It happened so quickly, and I was watching on my Fire Stick, so I couldn't pause it. But it did look like the plants.
Yeah, it's not. I rewound because I saw your message. I rewound it. That's for I can't remember what the title of that programmer movie is. It's for something different. It actually had the title of the program or whatever above the image that you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, and no, it's not, unfortunately. Doesn't rule it out though. Yeah, it doesn't rule it out though. Right. Yeah. After that, we got it was for Smite. For anyone who plays Smite, Stranger Things crossover. You can play the Stranger Things characters in Smite. Moving on. I think there was a new publisher was announced called Prime Matter. They currently have 12 games coming out. Some of them look like really, really high quality AAA titles. There was one. It was either I didn't know which one it was. It was either The Last Oriku or Akriku, something like that, or Echoes of the End. One of them looked like a Returnal copy almost, but it looked quite interesting.
I thought that actually was a showcase for Returnal because it was the image of it. Yeah.
It looked quite similar.
It really was. But
they're showing more of their stuff off at noon tomorrow Pacific time, which is 8 p.m. our time, I think.
But they're a new developer, but they're
new publisher.
They're not new publisher. Oh, new publisher. That's okay. Sorry, I was getting that mixed up.
They had Payday at the end of it. Didn't they?
Payday.
Payday is. I was like, they have already made these games. Publisher, not developer.
New publisher. Yeah. Some of that looked quite interesting. So, and it was a broad spectrum of stuff. They showed off something from every fucking genre you can think of. So I'll watch that tomorrow. It's 8 p.m. our time tomorrow, or 9 p.m. our time tomorrow. I think it's 8.
There's a lot happening tomorrow. That's what I was saying to Stephen. Like a lot of the announcements where we'll be showed this tomorrow, where we'll see more tomorrow. Same with like Battlefield and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's tomorrow as well. After that, they spoke. It was a new IP from a new studio. I didn't get the name of the studio, unfortunately, but the game is called the Anacrusis. It's basically an FPS horde mode.
It's Left 4 Dead in space.
It's Left 4 Dead.
Oh, Back for Blood, is it? Is that what that was?
No, that was later on.
No.
It was Left 4 Dead, but sci-fi aliens. It's a co-op.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Co-op multiplayer game. Looked like fun, but it's Xbox Game Pass on day one.
Yes.
Yeah, which is cool.
I did notice that anything that was announced as Xbox Game Pass day one, everything.
Not all of them. There was one later on that's Xbox and PC only, not Game Pass.
We'll get to that. After that, they spoke about New World, which is Amazon Games' take on an MMO. The closed beta for that is on July 20th, and it's launching on August 31st. There's also a deep dive on that tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific, which is the 4 p.m. our time. It's been a bit of drama about that game recently, if you've been following it. About
That's a game that was like put up for a while and then taken back down because it was shit.
No, that was the other Amazon game, Crucible. What a stupid thing to call a game when one of the most popular fucking shooting games in the world at the moment has a game mode in it called The Crucible. Duh. But no, Amazon Games is an MMO coming out from... Well, Amazon have their MMO coming out called New World. And a lot of people are really hyped for it. But there's been a bit of drama lately about the microtransactions and the storefront in-game. Buying fast travel with real money. Shit like that.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I know two of the big WoW players, Asmon and Bellular, were covering it a lot over the last couple of months. I didn't watch anything on it personally, but it seemed to be enjoyable from their perspective. And they're diehard MMO peeps.
Yeah, no, I think last week there was stuff about microtransactions for fast travel and for something else. And it was like, you want to charge us for fast travel? Are you Nintendo? But yeah, moving on. After that, this was where the Fast and Furious crossover came in. You get cars in Rocket League for Fast 9 because it's out very soon. That's on June 17th. I used to love playing Rocket League. It was great crack, but kind of just moved on from it. After that, Shark Mob is a Swedish studio who are releasing their first IP. It looked kind of infamous-y for me, but it's vampires. Who doesn't like vampires?
I actually thought that looked good.
It looks really cool. Yeah, that's
House of something, or what was it?
It was the Blood Hunt.
The Blood Hunt. That's it.
The Blood Hunt. That but that has a closed alpha sign up, and I'm probably gonna sign up for that closed alpha. I think the alpha is meant to be in July. I think July 2nd. Yeah. So that looked really fun though. It reminded me of Infamous, or Prototype, but multiplayer.
The one thing that really kind of got to me about that game was you're playing as vampires, yet stealth and, any sort of vampire-y thing to do seems to just be like, yeah, just shoot them or stab them, maybe. That's all you need to do.
Could have just been for the trailer.
Maybe. I was thinking about it afterwards, like that. Do you remember the multiplayer in Assassin's Creed 3?
Brotherhood?
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood? Yeah, Brotherhood.
4.
Yeah, that was
5.
fantastic. Something like that could have been cool, where it's hunting.
Brotherhood or Unity?
Yeah,
Brotherhood. Yeah, Brotherhood. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but
it definitely piqued my interest after the stuff I wasn't interested in for a while. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Yeah. Closed alpha. I'll give that a shot. And this was where Steven's new horror game comes in. This looked terrifying, by the way. House of Ash. This was the one you're thinking, House of Ashes still.
I actually thought this looked good.
Yeah, no, it looked
good. I ain't touching it.
Yeah, no, I don't have enough pants for that. But it looked like, it didn't look like, it was set in the Iraq War, but a fictional version of the Iraq War, where they fall into this underground caves and there's just monsters lurking down there. It's the Until Dawn developers, but it did look good.
I thought it looked class.
Yeah, but I wouldn't touch that because I am a little bitch.
I will watch a playthrough of it because I watched Until Dawn, and that was so good to watch. Like it's, and I didn't realize that that Until Dawn was part of that Dark Pictures anthology that they're setting up, like with Man of Median and whatever. I thought Until Dawn wasn't part of that, so yeah, I might look into Man of Median now and see. I like watching people do playthroughs of those games. Like, have you seen
like you with Resident Evil? It was great.
Stop.
Yeah.
No, fucking wasn't. It was awful.
Where's my legs?
No, it was great for us. I got to see how the game is without having to shit myself.
Watch someone else shit themselves in real time.
Yeah, you can't get secondhand scared.
Secondhand scared.
So they get secondhand embarrassment when you watch things.
Yeah. What about secondhand pants? You got any of those for me?
No,
speaking of fucking pants, there's another game that's coming up to do a horror. It's fucking your man Ash versus Evil Dead. There's always a reason I wore brown pants. It's like, fucking, you're not in this fucking 80s anymore.
That's where I checked out for a couple of minutes. Anyway, moving on. After that, we got a JRPG called Tales of Arise. Kev made a typo. Anyway, it looks beautiful. Combat looks fantastic. If you're into that sort of thing, I hope you enjoy it. It did look beautiful. It looked beautiful. But yeah, it's a JRPG. After that, we got Sky is coming to Nintendo Switch on June 29th with, I think it was a DLC for it called The Little Prince or Le Petit Prince on July 6th. I don't know what it is, but
it's a season or something.
Yeah, I don't know what I kind of missed what it was, but it's coming to Nintendo Switch. It was the only thing announced it was only announced. It was the only announcement that was coming to Nintendo Switch, by the way. After that, it was a game called Planet of Lana that was described as a watercolor painting coming to life, and that's coming to Xbox plus PC in 2022. I know you were right, by the way. Louise got quite emotional.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Louise got quite emotional looking at the little black mouse-looking creature. It's very cute.
Yeah.
It was an Ori-esque. It was an Ori-esque game.
It reminds me of Limbo, that kind of 2D scroller where there's kind of horror elements going on in the background. I haven't played any of those games, but the art style of that looks very good.
No, yes, it was beautiful.
If it came to Game Pass, I'd play it, but it's not. It's the one thing that's not fucking coming to Game Pass.
It might though. Maybe just not on day one.
Maybe. Maybe.
After that, there was an Overwatch 2 update. They just showed off some skins. That was literally.
It was basically what they showed at BlizzCon. Yeah. Like literally the exact same. Yeah. They were doing like side-by-side comparison. Yeah.
That must be like the most drawn-out release of a game in modern times.
Now, in fairness, when they did showcase it at BlizzCon, they started it off in terms of saying like it's not as easy to do what we want to do with what we have right now. So here's the breakdown of what we're trying to do, and it was a really nice insight into saying it's not as easy as just fucking copy paste. You know, they really showed the kind of the dynamic in what they're trying to achieve with one character, and then this is what they looked like on last generation type thing. It was I thought it was really interesting just to have that insight. But they did address that kind of delay in BlizzCon.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that game drops, because when that game came out, there was a very big lull. I think Steven's dead on us. But there was a very big lull in the kind of PvP arena shooter genre where Call of Duty had kind of so it's gonna be interesting to see if Overwatch 2 can come out to the same kind of
like the fact that it has a story mode in it. I'd actually pick it up because I like when they have that aspect in it. Like I remember playing the first one, like that whole intro with the heroes coming down, blah blah blah. Yeah. It looked really good. It was a really good sequence, and then you just as PvP from there on in. Yeah. Same with Apex. It'd be great if they had stories.
It would. After that, there was Dungeons and Demons Dark Alliance. This was actually a gameplay kind of thing that Jeff did with multiple people.
Oh Hannibal Buress.
Yeah, and
some
the
WWE
WWE
star.
wrestler. I can't think of her name off the top of my head now. But that's coming to Game Pass on June 22nd. It's kind of a co-op 3D over-the-shoulder Diablo-esque kind of game, co-op experience. So
Yeah, that looked very like, give us 60 quid, here's a game.
yeah,
Play
now it is on Game Pass, so
Yeah.
it's one of those that you wouldn't play without your friends.
Yeah, if someone else
yeah.
is playing it, I'll play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't play this though.
After that, there was some sort of Paladins crossover. I kind of missed this part myself.
Yeah, I zoned out at that.
Yeah, it looked like skins or something for Paladins. I kind of missed it. I didn't really see it very clearly, but that's what it was. Moved on to the Battlefield 6 update. Apparently, there's more tomorrow, or no, sorry,
Yeah, tomorrow.
during the Xbox Bethesda showcase. That's when it is. They're showing the first gameplay footage during the Xbox and Bethesda show, which I think is on Wednesday next week. I think Steven blue screened. Yeah, he blue screened.
Yeah, I did, and I can't get my camera on.
Oh, we have audio.
We have audio at least.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go. Well, it's probably better for most people not to see me, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, it's never fun when you blue screen.
Jesus.
Oh,
You could try plug your camera. Did you try plug your camera out and back in and all that nonsense?
No, I didn't, because it's not really in a good position to get to.
Oh, fair enough. Anyway, the Xbox Bethesda show is on the 13th of June, by the way, at 6 p.m. our time. So that's when you see more on Battlefield.
That's
6.
Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. That trailer was fantastic. I'm not into Battlefield, but the trailer was fantastic yesterday. I was wrong. There was something else announced for Switch on July 9th. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is coming to Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're into that sort of stuff, Dale, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. I haven't played the Monster Hunter Stories before. I just thought they were very different than the main game series, and they are. But the first trailer that came out alongside Monster Hunter Rise, I actually was really kind of enthralled by it. So definitely gonna give it a go. Yeah, July I think it was drops.
It was July 9th, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very animated kind of. I always thought it was very toned down and it was more like a pets thing, but no, it's same kind of concept, just more story driven, and yeah, looks good. I'll be checking it out on the Switch anyway.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I tried Monster Hunter World, so I'm not really into it. So, but it looks cool. Did any of you watch the Weezer performance?
Yeah.
How was it? I skipped it to catch up.
It was. I mean, it was Weezer, so it's what you expect.
What you'd expect when you walk into a 13-year-old's bedroom
When they're in their 40s, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Sound like they're still 13. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Your Elden Ring is back anyway.
Yeah, I'm not though.
That's fine. It works. It just looks like we're really big Elden Ring fans, and which I hope to be. After that, Endless Dungeon was announced. It was another Diablo-esque, but it was a shooter instead of a sword and magic and nonsense. But yeah, it was a shooter co-op dungeon crawler. They announced the Ratchet and Clank stream for the first hour of the game. That game is out tomorrow, and I can't wait to play it. But yeah, there's a stream showing off the first hour gameplay for that if anyone's interested. They had Giancarlo Esposito on from Breaking Bad and from Far Cry 6. And for someone who's plays such evil characters, he's a really nice guy.
He's a good character in the Maze Runner.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in that.
Haven't seen it.
Great trilogy of books. Great trilogy of books, Stephen. Read them.
Yeah.
Yep. No, seriously, it's one of my favorite book trilogies.
I might look into the audiobooks. I have a few credits to use, so
Really good.
hold on the
Yeah,
list.
he just touched on Far Cry for a bit, didn't he?
Yeah,
His
I didn't
character
watch
more
it.
so.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I was trying to obviously make up a bit of time So when I saw there was no gameplay or extra stuff, I just kind of
there was nothing. It was just a conversation between them two.
It was interesting that he's trying to frame. Is it Antonio or whatever his name is? We'll call him Anto. We'll just call him Anto.
Anto.
Anto from Donamead. That he's a good guy because of his beliefs and what the way he's doing it. And I was like, okay. I mean, it's a bit of a reach, but we'll see.
But I'm sure all dictators think that about themselves, though. That I'm the good guy. I'm doing what's right. So,
but
it wasn't that like Pablo Escobar that like everyone in Medellin thought he was like a fucking saint because he pumped so much money into the town, and it's like, yeah, do you know where we got that money?
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see now if the story kind of mirrors that, where you empathize with the villain rather than you just go.
If it's done like The Last of Us Part 2, it can be conceived very well if it does do that, because that really did flip a coin in terms of, am I really the good guy?
The Last of Us 2 made it that nobody is the good guy. They're all fucking wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, but in fairness, of the two characters, who do you empathize with more?
Abby.
Yeah. That's exactly what Deal's on about. Yeah.
She was portrayed as the villain of the first half of the game, so.
I thought, it's obviously going off on a tangent, but I did think that The Last of Us 2 was... It's a good, not character study, but a study of characters, in that when you are the eyes behind the character, that they are they are the protagonist of the story, the hero of the story. But in this situation, are they really? Yeah, no. It's a good study of how we perceive characters, to get philosophical about it. Anyway, after that, we got a couple of updates for stuff. We have Nier Skin coming to Fall Guys. Cool. There was a Genshin Impact update. I didn't see it. I don't know what it was. Cool. That is free on the Epic Game Store actually now, so you don't have to get it from the dodgy Chinese site that it came from. After that, there was... I really enjoyed this bit actually. The two guys from Deviation Games. They're the two ex-COD developers. And they announced that they're partnering with PlayStation. But I really hope those guys are successful, because they just seem like nice, really nice guys. Like, they were so nervous on stage. It's like,
yeah,
you're doing well. You're doing great, buddy. Keep it going.
I really liked how they kind of showcased their studio as well, and saying that, like, we have no egos here. We're just, this was what we looked for. We want pure creativity without any limits. And obviously, there's going to be limitations and budgets and stuff like that, but it was really nice to see from like a creative aspect or standpoint.
I think
even that he was getting choked up when he was getting choked up talking about how proud he is of his team. So it's like, and that's nice to see. You don't see that, like,
I think what happens.
Oh, this has a bug. I'm gonna just harass the devs on fucking Twitter for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, like I think what happens at like E3 or these big game shows is that you have Phil Spencer, who is a fantastic public speaker. You've got the guys from Sony who are fantastic public speakers, because that's their job. But I think what happens a lot of the time when you have an actual developer on stage, that people are like, oh, these guys are shit. It's like, no, they're not public speakers. They're computer nerds. Give them a break. So it was really nice to just see a genuine, two genuine people on stage. Oh, I really
and not one of them said, "You have phones, don't you?"
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh lord.
There was one game we missed out on, and I thought it was really good. And I said this to Stephen earlier on. Tunic.
Coming up.
You remember that? Is it? I thought it was much earlier on, wasn't it?
No, not yet. It's two down. Cool. But anyway, we can go to that. Tunic was after. Because after that, there was the Sonic Symphony Orchestra thing. I, again, skipped that to catch up on time.
No, sorry, hold on. No, we're not moving from this, right? Because this was a serious bugbear of mine. Why would you get the fucking Philharmonic Orchestra of, was it where they say in Croatia or They're really good when they do a lot of like the Battlefield live scores and stuff like that on Spotify.
Okay.
Of all the fucking Sonics to pick for them, why did they pick Sonic Unleashed? Why couldn't they do like the Green Hills team or any of the other iconic Sonic songs? They picked Sonic Unleashed. Definitively the worst fucking Sonic. And that's including Sonic 2006, which is broken.
I'm sure there's a Reddit thread for you to voice your concerns, Stephen, with a lot of other Sonic fans.
Thanks, Still. Thank you for your concern at this trying time.
I thought the gameplay was fairly shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch that part. I just had to. I skipped stuff like that just to get in the shower by 10 o'clock.
But you would think they would pick something kind of more central in the franchise, wouldn't you, for such a big...
See, now that's how they get you, though. They show you the thing that's kind of cool, but you're not really into it. So that you go and watch the full show to get the cool stuff.
Bricks.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that, there was the Back for Blood stuff. They announced an open beta for that. There's a big update on that on Sunday. I don't know what time because I missed it, but Back for Blood, woo, zombies. Dill, this is where Tunic was shown off. So they announced an Xbox...
much earlier, Jesus.
Yeah, it's near the end. So they announced an Xbox and id demo event, which starts next Tuesday. So you can try out a bunch of demos on your Xbox console. And Tunic was one of them. And Tunic was an action-adventure, you play as a fox versus monsters game. And you have the floor.
Yeah, it looked very Link's Awakening. Like that kind of art style. Mm-hmm. And I like the whole, you start off with nothing, go to this box, you'll get a twig, and then fight a few monsters, and you get a sword. And I just thought it looked really homey or something. I don't know, something about it just... No, homey. Like, it was just like the setting really and everything was just... I don't know, yeah. I've
never in all my years playing games heard a game described as homey.
But just real, like, you know, the aesthetic that kind of Animal Crossing and stuff is supposed to give
it's
off.
Warm, it's welcoming, it's cozy, yeah.
It gave that, even though it has, like, your dungeon kind of a very light Diablo.
It did actually grab my attention.
Yeah, the art style for me was the main thing. Mm. But then when the lead designer or lead developer was talking about it, it was really good how he explained the process. But yeah, that would be for me a Nintendo Switch game, though.
Yes,
I would love if that was on the Switch.
So what you're saying is Xbox Game Pass has to come to Nintendo Switch,
basically. Switch Pro or Super Nintendo Pro, whatever they're gonna call it. Super Nintendo Switch. I don't care. Just bring it out.
I wonder does that get announced next week? And that Xbox id demo event, the game that was announced earlier, we talked about called Sable, which was like the Journey Last Guardian style game. That is also part of that demo event. After that, there was a co-op action survival called some Viking thing. Didn't see it.
Oh yeah, something from Tales from Midgard or something like that.
I don't know.
That's the one.
Yeah, I didn't get the name of it, but that's for PC plus PlayStation.
From coming off playing Valhalla, like the art style that they went with, it actually does look really good in comparison to that. To me, that's a real kind of lore story driven kind of thing where it's not so much the spectacle of what's happening, it's more so why it's happening or how it's happening type thing. Which it looks really cool. Same again, Switch. That just screams to me Switch.
The penultimate part of the show was the Evil Dead game, which you already mentioned, Dill. There was lots of blood. It's a co-op game where you play with your friends, but you can also play the mode where someone plays the role of the bad person who goes around killing everyone. Kind of like in Friday the 13th, but yeah, you play with your friends.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm not... Bully your friends.
There's a reason I wore brown pants. Fuck off.
So, for me, everything that came before I didn't really care about once this was announced, and we all knew it was coming because Jeff has been teasing it for days and days and days. He actually got a bit choked up when he was announcing it. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed.
He got a bit like, I don't know, maybe it was pride. Maybe he was proud that he's done this thing that, oh, I've done this Summer Games Fest. I've gone off my own and it's successful. But we finally got the trailer for Elden Ring. And yes, it was the same as the one that was leaked about 2 months ago. The snippets of it. It was the same trailer. It is as weird as you would expect a From Software game to be. It had the same combat as you'd expect a From Software game to have. It, for me, not the sandbox, the world looked as beautiful as you'd expect a FromSoft world to look. The enemies were as weird as you'd expect, but we got a release date, and that's the main thing, and it's out very fucking soon, actually, just January 21st next year. It's probably going to get delayed by a couple of months, because that's just the world we live in, but we actually saw Elden Ring stuff. After all this time!
It's been 2 years.
Jesus.
I
2
wonder.
years of silence.
I wonder, would we have seen something last year if E3 hadn't been cancelled? Just anything, even just a cinematic trailer, because that was a cinematic and gameplay trailer we got today. That was what you'd expect 6 months out from a game coming out. So I wonder, would we have got
to know, isn't it? Like,
yeah, like we'll never know. But yeah, I can't wait. Like it's a Dark Souls game, open world. So it's Dark Souls mashed with Elder Scrolls into one. I can't wait. I really can't wait for it.
the only reservation that I'm going to air now about it is it looks like, as you said, it's just Dark Souls, the combat. So I'm afraid that it's going to be the exact same combat of Dark Souls 3.
I didn't think it did. I thought it looked somewhere between Dark Souls and Demon Souls, personally.
To me, it just seemed a bit more of the traditional Dark Souls style fighting. And, like, not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it's great. But after playing, like, Sekiro and Bloodborne, with a new IP, I'm expecting something a little different than maybe... I don't know for me. Well, I don't know if open world is different enough for this to be a non-Dark Souls game. Like, if this is just open world Dark Souls, I will be a little bit like, you know, it's a little tick off for me, but I'm still gonna play the hell out of it. Like,
yeah, one thing I will say I don't know if it'll help those reservations at all, but it's what helps mine is that From Software haven't let me down yet.
No, and that's the same. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna purchase it day one. Like, I've no reservations that the game will be great. I'm just saying, if we're gonna be somewhat critical of this, if this is just Dark Souls combat in an open world environment, I will say this is lazy Zaki coming out now. This is pure laziness of, like, let's get George R. R. Martin to make a world and we'll make an open world and we'll just throw in the Dark Souls 3 gameplay that we have. And to me, where FromSoft do really well are in those standalone IPs, Bloodborne and Sekiro, where they just innovate on what they have and change the dynamic and force you to be a different Dark Souls player or Soulsborne player, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just airing that now as my only reservation. I'm still gonna buy it, and I'm probably gonna pre-order it. So fuck you, people.
I hope it comes with a nice statue.
That's one thing that's gonna annoy me, because I've never played a FromSoft game. I don't have the same excitement that you guys have. I'm just like, yeah, it's another one of those esque games for me. But if it comes with a statue and I end up liking the game, I'm gonna regret not getting the statue.
I think I think From Software games, so it's the Dark Souls trilogy, Demon Souls, and or Bloodborne and Sekiro, is that yes, they've got a massive audience and massive fans. They're all very highly rated games, but it is a niche genre. It's not very accessible to people who aren't into that sort of thing, because they are difficult. There's no question about it. It's not putting ego aside. It's like, I don't find Dark Souls difficult. Like, you have people who say shit like that, and I get what they're saying. I personally don't find them difficult, but they are challenging games. And that's not for everybody. And I think Elden Ring is the first one from Software that has that mainstream hype behind it. And maybe that's because it's been 2 years we've heard nothing. Where if you look at Sekiro or Bloodborne before it, or Dark Souls, I think Demon Souls kind of had a lot of popularity because of the remake. But I think Elden Ring is the first one that is mainstream. So I get where you're coming from, like, Dill.
It's mainly like it doesn't have the it's exactly like you said. They know their community. They know who they're trying to appeal to. They know their audience, and it's like they're happy with that audience. They don't want to appeal to, say, a wider demographic, which is fine. But from the outside looking in, it'd be like me showing you a Monster Hunter trailer for something that's groundbreaking in the game, and you're kind of like, if you're not into it, you're not into it.
Exactly. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with not being into something.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in saying, I'm not into that. I don't enjoy a Dark Souls because it's too hard for me. There is nothing wrong with saying that. It's not saying, I'm not into that. You're not a gamer because you're not into it. No, that's bullshit. Yeah. If you're not into it, you're not into it. And that's absolutely fine. I hope you fucking love it when it comes out.
So do I. But it's hard to...
Yeah.
It's not like the likes of Cyberpunk or something where it's a very kind of broad spectrum of you can do X, Y, and Z compared to someone else who does a completely different. This is very like, be interested, you play this our way.
Yeah, I will be interested. You said play it our way because George R.R. Martin has worked on it, and I'm assuming they had to give him a fairly substantial amount of cash to work on it, and because of how much hype there is behind the game. And with what?
Winter.
Yeah, George Martin finished something. He finished something. Anyway, because of the hype train behind it, and maybe actually because of the fallout from this little title here, I wonder will it have a difficulty setting. I think if any From Software game is going to, it'll be this one.
It should be this.
I think if it will be this one. And I don't think it's going to be an easy, normal, hard. It'll be hard, less hard.
Yeah. But there you go. Like, even if that gets announced, it's already going to ruffle feathers. And that's, to me, that takes away from the enjoyment of a game.
It's like, very elitist.
That's the audience. That's what
it can be very elitist.
It's like I say in the WoW community all the time. Like, I've been denied dungeons plenty of times because you're not hitting a certain level of fucking DPS and stuff like that. And it's kind of like my whole other gameplay makes up for that. It's like you won't have to res me 4 or 5 times throughout the whole thing because of placement and shit like that. But just in that same concept of, it's like, it's exactly like you said. It's like it's a hard game. Why are we toning it down for other people? Like the Sekiro fucking argument that went on for ages because of that.
And it still goes on. And I think the way I look at it, and this is the last point I'll really say on the whole difficulty argument. If From Software say, we are not making an easy mode or an easier mode because this is the game we made, this is the game we want to make, and set up with it, that's absolutely fine. And that's the developers of the game. It's their game. They get to make whatever fucking game they want. But, my voice went really high there. But, if they turn around and say, we want it to be more accessible, so we are going to make an easier version, then that's also fine. Like, there doesn't have to be a drama.
For example. Yeah. Like, that's on the scale of difficulty. Yeah. If you want to make it like that. But you can also play it to your own, like, easier level, which... Yeah. I did, and I got the enjoyment from it.
Yeah, like I agreed.
I wasn't able to do that, I probably wouldn't have finished the game.
Yeah, like I completely agreed with the sentiment of a game was never made worse by having a difficulty slider, and I completely agree with it. I didn't agree with the fallout from it and how it became very elitist versus, and it was just like it did. And by the way, Sekiro,
taking validity away from people
exactly.
for no reason.
Yeah, and Sekiro deservedly won Game of the Year that year, in my opinion. It was a fantastic game, and I'm glad that conversation didn't take away from it in the same way that it's taken away from other games. Quite rightfully, by the way. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think if there is gonna be if From Software ever budge on their stance, it will be for this game because of the hype behind it.
Yeah, I think so.
I also
then
can't wait.
Get it.
Yeah, and I also can't wait to see people. I'm gonna be a little bit salty here because I want to be fucking salty. I saw dozens of people going crazy for Demon Souls being announced for PS5. And not one of them fucking bought the game. Because they weren't actually interested in Demon Souls. Just like they're not actually interested in Elden Ring. They just want the Twitter impressions. Peace.
When I eventually get a PS5, I will play Demon Souls. Confirmed. You heard it here.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Do you know what? Like, of all the Souls games, Demon Souls is probably the most accessible. Yeah.
It's the most forgiving.
All I need to hear.
It is the most forgiving. I think on a scale of Demon Souls to Sekiro, it's the most forgiving, with Sekiro probably being the most unforgiving. Mainly because you can't actually co-op in it at all.
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to be somewhat... why am I not wording today? I've blue screened as well in my own head.
Elitist.
No, what's controversial? Jesus Christ! So I'm going to be somewhat controversial with this. If you want to play Demon Souls on easy mode, there is actually a toggle for easy mode. It's called Magic.
Oh, Magic, yeah, 100%. Just use Magic, yeah.
Yeah, use Magic. It fucks shit up, and it's gorgeous.
Anything in armor, just use Magic on it.
Yeah.
Shreds. I didn't swing a sword at the Tower Knight once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy that this game can stop being a meme for a few months anyway. I
do like this. Sorry to cut across. Just
no, you're good, man.
When something like this gets announced, it's huge for the gaming community as a whole because it's like it's a staple kind of game. Like Cyberpunk. Look how many people got excited for that. And this seems like it's on par to be the next kind of widespread big kind of statement game.
I think so. Like I'm kind of think like
there's nothing else like in
I think like the likes of say
had this level of hype for.
Yeah, I think the likes of say Far Cry 6 or Battlefield 6, they're all games within a series. So the people who follow that series get very hyped for it. But I think you might be right in that this might be the next big thing. I think Ratchet and Clank is probably gonna take that crown for a while, judging by the reviews. That like just to touch on that, the reviews for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart are some of the best reviews I've seen in a long time for a game. I can't remember.
That's PS5 only, isn't it?
PS5 only, yeah. But I can't remember the last time I saw a game so universally acclaimed. I haven't seen a bad review for it. I haven't looked for a bad review, but they haven't.
It sounds like it's the first PS5 game that's embraced the next generation.
Just everything.
Dynamics and everything that they can do in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously it's great because that's what it should be utilized and not hindered because they have to make it for last gen.
Well, that's one thing about Elden Ring actually, is that it is for next gen and last gen. It's PS4 and PS5 and Xbox Series X and Xbox One S.
Like you said about the way FromSoft are saying, no, there's no easy button. This is how we make it. I wish developers had that same attitude when it comes to next gen or current gen now, because I know there's I know, but
I think
if they have a vision in their head that they want to achieve, why limit yourself? And there's an argument on both sides. You could talk for fucking ages, but
I think
Cyberpunk, perfect example.
Yeah,
you know?
I think with the pandemic and how that's affected stuff, people being able to afford it, people out of jobs, and also with the shortages the shortages of consoles and graphics card, I think some games, obviously it's actually the case, like the new Formula 1 game, the new Battlefield 6 isn't the one. There's something else was announced quite recently that, or not announced, but like got a release date quite recently, that is launching both past gen and next gen, and it's because of all that. There's quite a few factors, and that is a bit shit because it might hold back. But on the flip side, you're then telling people you're not getting to play that game because you don't have a new console. But I can't get a new console. Get wrecked. And that's
it's like with the whole.
It's a lose-lose.
PS3 servers are being shut down, or the store. It's like who still plays that? But there is always going to be an audience for older generations and older consoles and stuff. But but it would be nice, like you said, the way FromSoft are very firm on their stance of this is how we make our games to be played. I wish some companies would do the same for.
I think it
I don't
depends.
have a PS5, so
I think it depends on how it's advertised. I think if I'll use Elden Ring as the example. If Elden Ring is coming out and they say on PS4 you're gonna get 30 FPS, it's gonna be a lower resolution. It's not going to be as good as experience as it is on. And you say, on PS5, here's what. If you're clear with people on what they are getting before they get it, I think it's okay. I think the issue comes in, and it's Cyberpunk. It's the biggest offender. It runs great on last gen. It's fine. And then
minimum,
it wasn't.
There is no minimum.
I haven't played it on last gen, so I can't really comment on it. I can only comment on what I've seen from others, and it's about how it's advertised. If FromSoft are honest about Elden Ring before it comes out, then if it performs exactly how they say it's going to perform, then it's okay. At least people get to play it because people have been waiting for it. I think the very, very, very last thing that was announced, it was just opening night live for Gamescom. That's on August 25th. I don't know if that had a release date beforehand. It may have done. But that's Jeff Keighley's
that's his next.
He announces some more stuff at that, so it should be an exciting summer, hopefully.
And we're getting an in-person Game Awards at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Well, the people in LA are.
Yeah. But it's nice to see that they're actually comfortable with announcing such a big event, a big gathering.
Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't go back the opposite direction. I think everyone's had enough at this stage.
Yep.
It's been a long 16, 17 months for a lot of people. I think the sooner people can get back to somewhat a normal life, the better, because people are obviously struggling. At least we have.
But we've Elden Ring to look forward to now.
I say at least we have some stuff to look forward to make us happy.
The worst part is
kind of a weird thing. Sorry, Stephen, go on.
I was gonna say the worst part is we'll come out of the pandemic and Elden Ring will release and we'll all be back indoors again.
Yeah. Think what if you think before the pandemic started, Cyberpunk hadn't come out, Final Fantasy VII's remake hadn't come out, The Last of Us Part 2 hadn't come out.
There's some last generation graphics for you there.
But yeah.
Fucking hell.
I don't have any news really. I didn't prepare news this week because this was all the news. The only news that I did see today that is kind of big is that Xbox Game Pass is going to be available on Windows browsers starting very, very soon. So that's really cool.
Stadia,
that's
bye.
My prediction. I'll just put that out there. I predicted that last week.
I think you did actually, yeah. Jeff, I think that there's obviously been some other small bits of news, but that was the big one that I saw today. I didn't save anything else. What's the free game on Epic this week? I haven't checked yet.
Control. It's actually Control this week. Yeah.
That's a really good one actually. If you have a 20 series or later graphics card, get Control, install Control, and turn on ray tracing.
Ray tracing's best friend.
Yeah. It was the first game that really pushed ray tracing. Just install it, turn on ray tracing, and just marvel at it. It's incredible. I need to finish. I need to play that game. I have it there on Steam.
Yeah.
I just haven't. No, I have it on Epic. I just haven't played it yet. That's a big one actually. Yeah, that's really cool. I think I said that a few weeks ago. Did I? I think. No, probably not.
Better than fucking Burger Tycoon 6.
Burger Tycoon 6.
Hey, you leave Burger Tycoon 6 out of this.
Oh, Rainbow Six changed its name.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cough, Destiny. Rainbow
What's it
Six
called now again?
Quarantine, I think it is. Yeah.
That is a fair point, by the way, about Destiny. That you can play Destiny 2 on Game Pass. If you can play Destiny 2 on Game Pass through a Windows browser.
Nintendo Switch.
Hi, Xbox friends. Come do raids with me. With your... Imagine doing oracles on fucking... With that latency. Oh my goodness. I had 2. No, I had 2. No, you had 5. How did I have 5? But
I had 9.
There's only 7 of them. Well, I had 9. But yeah, that's cool. I think we've got a massive week ahead. I don't know how you guys want to cover it all. If we want to leave it all till next Thursday and just go through it all, or if we want to take it in segments, we can obviously discuss it. If I have a football match next Wednesday, I won't have training Thursday, so it can be an earlier show next week. Can I just say though, before I love this time of year. Like
Yeah,
It's the most
It's
wonderful
nice putting a list
time.
together of what's coming out, but it does feel ages away at the same time because personally, when I get these announcements, I want it now. You know,
Yeah.
it's like anything. Yes.
on
But I want it now, Molly.
on a scale of Violet to Charlie and Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I thought the showcase was about 5.
Take Elden Ring out, and it's probably a 2 or 3.
I thought it was a good start to all the announcements. I think I would have liked an extra couple of big reveals in the middle somewhere.
Like out of 43 announcements, there was literally 3
Yeah,
that I was excited for.
I thought it was well done. I thought the presentation was fantastic. I thought Jeff Keighley was
Production was next level.
Jeff Keighley was as brilliant as he always is.
It was seamless as well.
Yeah. I
Transition
thought it was
from-
I thought it was a good start to all the announcement stuff. I think this year is kind of a weird one. After last year, we don't really know what to expect. But the Elden Ring announcement alone was enough for me. I would have liked another couple of things, but we got the big one, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, I love this time of year. I love all this E3 stuff, just watching showcase after showcase. Whether they're good, bad, indifferent, or absolutely fucking horrendous. I still just enjoy watching them. But
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the
Ubisoft Forward is next, isn't it? And the Division came out and said that they're not actually showcasing anything on that, which is kind of like they just announced
What?
Heartland or something, was it? Or Homeland?
Heartland.
A couple of weeks ago.
Heartland, yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, so we've got Geeked Week and Kosh Primetime tomorrow. Geeked Week is Netflix's stuff, and Kosh Primetime is the Time Splitters developers, that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But that isn't part of it, so I don't know what's part of that. Ubisoft Forward is at 8 p.m. on Saturday, followed by Bethesda and Xbox at 6 p.m. on Sunday, I think. So, yeah,
It'd be nice to
and
hear
Square
something on
Enix is
another
on Sunday
Fallout.
as well.
I think we're a bit early for that.
I think
I know, but-
you're very early. I think the order of it for Bethesda will be Starfield, Elder Scrolls, then Fallout. So you're probably a good 5 or 6 years from Fallout. Sorry to break it to you.
Just want a good Fallout.
Sorry to break it to you. So yeah, I still enjoyed the show. I'm gonna go. I think I'm assuming Layman or Skill Up watched it, so I'll go watch their reactions to it, and that'll be me for the night. Play some more Final Fantasy.
Bastard.
I've already finished all the Fort Condor stuff. I'm finished all that.
That must happen very early on then, does it?
Yeah, it's only 2 chapters.
Oh, is
Speaking
it?
of Gondor,
Okay.
we're getting a Lord of the Rings animated film.
Yeah,
Are we?
Yeah, to do with the Rohirrim.
I
interesting.
didn't know that.
Yeah, only got announced today.
Where was Gondor when? Where was
was
Rohan when
Westfell.
Gondor fell? Yeah, when the vessel. But yeah, that was Summer Game Fest. I don't think
Look,
there's
it's a good
anything.
start with Elden Ring coming out, so
Yeah,
we should.
hopefully we get some big stuff over the next 3 or 4 days to follow up from that. I got 2 out of 5 right from my wild predictions on Twitter today. I'll take 2 out of 5.
Forward to Elden Ring and
Kojima.
Kojima.
Kojima would announce something. Yeah.
He announces he
I'm
has
taking
a game
it.
coming
I'm
out.
taking it. Yeah.
Can you tell us anything? No.
I think after that I said Final Fantasy VII for PC, which could potentially happen during Square Enix's or Xbox showcase. Probably not. I predicted the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 remake, which is probably never going to happen because Vicarious Visions no longer exists, so that's sad.
You're in
And
the
my
Blizzard
other
bubble.
one, my other prediction was a Jeff Keighley, not a Jeff Keighley, an Uncle Phil bookshelf reveal. Now Uncle Phil wasn't on the show, so I'm saving that one for the Xbox game show. There'll be something. He'll announce something off his shelf behind.
Who's buying next?
Who's buying next?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's probably us for tonight.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed Summer Game Fest Kickoff Show. You know where to find us. I don't have to put in any links in the description below this week. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in. I will pass you over to Dill to close it down, seeing as Stephen is no longer here, apparently.
Stephen is tarnished.
Stephen is fully embracing the Elden Ring. He is the Elden Ring.
He has become Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
next week we'll try go and rescue him from whatever fucking horse-looking thing that has 20 arms on its back that needs fucking context
That's
explained,
just Elden
please.
Ring. That's just a FromSoft game.
So confusing.
I
But
can't
yeah,
wait
that
to
was-
hear. I can't wait to hear the new OST for it, for all the bosses, because From Software do fantastic soundtracks for their bosses. Sorry, I'll shut up fanboying Elden Ring. January is only 6 months away.
True, true.
7.
We'll still be here in January. 7. But yep, that was our reaction to Summer Games Fest, part 1 of hopefully a long list of announcements that we haven't heard yet. And yeah, we'll see you next week. We hopefully see Stephen as well at some point.
Actually,
Manage to
actually,
rescue-
Enjoy this better.
just before we go, Dill, what would your dream announcement be for all of E3?
Fallout 77.
Or Fallout 5?
Fallout
Okay.
5, yeah.
Grand. Thanks.
No, I want to see more of Hogwarts Legacy.
It's not happening.
That's all I want to see right now.
Yeah, sadly, I think they said it's not happening.
Yeah.
So,
1/4. But yeah.
Gamescom.
Well, we'll talk about it again next week. Or not.
Or not.
We will. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.